So before we get, Miggy, what is Cosfame?
I don't know, I stumbled on this shit. It depends on your interpretation of it, because I use it ironically and very satirically.
Even insultingly.
Yeah. It's pretty much like I call myself really basic. So
When I hashtag Cosfamous, I do it either as a joke or just something that it's just something that to laugh at, in my opinion.
Or it's something that like strikes you, I think, like we're seeing how ridiculous we're being about something and how I guess melodramatic we're being over an issue and we're like, oh, that's because of we're being Cosfamous, you know? So.
1 second. All right. Yeah.
That, yes.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yes, we're just confirming notes. But no, it's some people take it serious, some people don't. Some people don't know what it is. People assume Cosfamous is just something you try to. I want to go like with like elitist cosplay. You're trying to say that you're above someone else, where I don't think so. I'm just there for the drinks.
Right. So I'll ask Johnny this. Do you feel that the popularity of cosplay is going, the direction that it's going, the Cosfamous route, I guess you could say, is this a good thing or a bad thing for the cosplay community?
Johnny.
Oh, wait, was that for me?
Yeah. That's a loaded question.
Is Cosfame a good thing or a bad thing?
Yeah.
The direction it's going.
The direction it's going, bad.
I concur.
But why do you say that?
No, I mean, I guess the idea of marketing yourself and getting your name out there is a good thing. You know, everybody wants to be recognized for their hard work.
But it's definitely changed.
What?
I think it's definitely changed.
It's completely changed in the, I've only been doing this for 5 years, but from when I started to where it is now, it's two different things. People got famous off of their really hard work and skills, and nowadays people are getting famous off the hashtags that they're using on Instagram.
Well, it was also really difficult, like 10 or 12 years to get really popular. I mean, Yaya Han had to push herself really hard, and it was like people had their flash cameras, back then, and then they'll and like that's how they would share images. There was no such thing as, email or let me just, text this picture to the person that I know of, like, look what I saw. So
You make it sound like it's like the Stone Age. Email was around for like
Yeah, but I didn't email pictures from a con because I didn't have a way to upload photos when I took it from my disposable camera.
It wasn't a thing at all. It's in the past couple of years that social media has actually even become something that people use widely for cosplay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Predominantly.
Yeah, like she said, it used to be just flash images and business cards, and that's the only way anybody knew anything about anybody.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I'll ask this question to Destiny. Why do you think?
What?
Why do you think social media? Why do you think that has? Do you feel that has a big impact on being a cosplayer nowadays?
Well, I mean, social media is how anybody communicates now. It's like half the time you can't reach somebody unless you tweet them or text message them or use Facebook Messenger. So I think social media has its ups and downs. Like, it's really cool because you can reach more people and you can meet a lot of awesome people and really, like, share the love of your craft. But at the same time, like Johnny said, it's kind of like you can just hashtag your way to being in a spotlight or, post enough selfies that you start getting Instagram famous. When the people who have been there since 10 years ago that have been busting their butts and really, like, putting hard work and effort into their craft are getting kind of left in the dust. So it's an interesting contrast to see then and now, for sure. Because I've been making costumes for probably 15 years, and just in the past couple years, has anybody even really been able to call it a cool thing, I guess? So I've kind of watched it in its stages where, 10 years ago at a convention, people cosplaying was barely a thing. So people were like, whoa, that's so awesome. So the people that did do costumes were kind of all over the place, and there were kind of these core group of people that people knew about that were really into this. And now it's hard to find people that don't cosplay, I guess. So it's really, really
Even closet
interesting.
cosplay. Even the closet cosplay thing.
Yeah.
It's like I'm not necessarily Link, but I'm Street Link. So I'm now in cosplay.
Yeah, it's like people can throw together something in their closet and call it a costume now. So just to have a costume to wear. So it's really interesting to see the progression that has happened.
The idea, well, what Destiny said about it being cool, the concept of like nerd and geekness, it's really like that's what's in. Like, you know, everyone's like, yeah, I'm a nerd, I'm a geek. But like she said, like 10, 15 years ago, it was like Fight Club. No one talks about Fight Club. And, you know, first rule of cons, don't talk about cons.
Yeah.
No, but it's progressed to where even like I'm an EMT, even my coworkers are like, yeah, cosplay. And I was like, what the hell do you know about that? And I was like, oh, it's a thing on the TV. You're on it. Shh, no, I'm not. It's become very mainstream where before you would say cosplay and you'd have to explain it's short for costume play. Everyone's like, cosplay, oh yeah, Comic-Con, I love
It's
it.
actually short for costume role play. Fake gamer girl.
Yeah. Well, fake gamer guy up in here. But it's that idea that, you know, you'll throw out, oh, DC Comics, Marvel. Everyone knows Marvel, everyone knows DC, the plethora of movies coming out. So it's become very easy to be thrown into the geek world because it's just...
It's easily accessible now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's the cool, you know, only the cool kids wear the Marvel shirts and the Doctor Who and all that stuff. Everyone knows Doctor Who now.
Also, like anime is a lot more, for like the Japanese media and pop culture is a lot more easily accessible to with the internet.
Yeah, now it's in libraries,
Yeah,
you know?
there's things like Crunchyroll and Hulu and places
Yeah.
where...
Like I remember some of the series that I watched, it was because a friend of mine copied his VHSs for me. And those suckers skipped like crazy. I would stick them in and I have to like use the tracking and I'd have to like, and it'd be jumping all over the place. But I was so excited to be able to see the series because there's no other way I would have heard about it otherwise.
Yeah.
And it was like in that really crappy English dub and stuff. So it's
Yeah,
like,
the first time I saw Sailor Moon and Evangelion was because a friend of mine visited Japan and she like smuggled me back like unsubtitled, like cheap like VHS tapes.
so now that it's mainstream, it is very it's accessible, accessibility.
Yeah.
That's also with the social media thing. We're very accessible now as cosplayers.
Well, Ruckus, back in your day, did they have VHSs?
We were still using Laserdisc, and sometimes I get the 8mm prints. It's funny you guys keep saying like 10, 15 years about this, but I remember 5 years ago when the only people in costumes were 501st, the Star Wars groups.
That's
You
right.
basically went to a convention to see people in Star Wars costumes or Star Trek costumes. And when I got into it, I was doing the charity group with the Ghostbusters, and that was really it. And it seems like every year it's just more and more and more. And it's gotten to the point now, I feel like there's more people in costume at conventions than there is in street clothes.
Yeah, I agree.
Why do you think that is, though? Why do you think more and more people are dressing up at conventions or even outside of conventions?
Because it's I want to say it's like the in thing to do.
It's hip.
It's hip.
This
is what
hip. Yeah.
everyone. This is what's popular.
It's
Gets
kind
you
of
noticed, it
like
gets you
when
attention. Yeah.
it's kind of like when Fast and the Furious came out and everyone had souped up cars.
Yeah,
Same
it's the
thing.
cool thing to do. If I'm going to go to a con, I want to, it's also, I think, a peer pressure thing. I mean, naturally, I want to fit in, and everybody else is dressing up.
Yeah, so it's just like a reverse of where like you would hide the fact that you used to play Pokemon in like middle school or you collect the cards. And now, I mean, I'm a grown man playing Yu-Gi-Oh, and I'll drop $20 on a card and just be like, yeah, I play Yu-Gi-Oh. Yeah, what? Everyone's like, me too.
Yeah, where a few years ago you were that weirdo that played D&D. So it's really strange. It's popular now. But I was going to say something and I forgot what it was, so I'm going to shut up now.
So let me ask each panelist here. All right, we all know there are some positive aspects to if someone wants to be famous. You know, there's money involved, there's popularity involved. What about the negative sides? I don't think a lot of people don't really talk about what's the negative sides of being popular. What can you share? Someone looking at the video now and thinking about, oh, maybe this is something I could get into. What would you say, like, what advice would you give?
I have a perfect answer for that, actually. It's something that I've been struggling with recently, and it's body image. When I started getting more, I guess, serious into costumes, I was really particularly at a thin point in my life. And once I had released those images on the internet, I felt a very huge obligation to remain or be more thin than when I started. And so when I had like a bit of a low point in my life recently and I started gaining weight, I would look at myself in the mirror and I was like, I can't cosplay, I can't do things. And I had a very huge body image issue, and I ended up overcompensating, and now I'm more thin than when I started with it all, because I'm freaking out over the fact of, will I be able to represent myself visually if I'm not? You know, and that's something that a lot of not just females but guys struggle with, is body image. And there's that internet pressure, you know, like her breasts aren't big enough, her butt's not well enough shaped, she's too short, she doesn't look, you know, why isn't she wearing a corset, or why does she keep wearing corsets, or, you know, so like there's a huge body image with the internet aspect of it, issue that it's really difficult to mentally cope with. Major negative.
You know, that's just funny because I feel like it's the same thing with guys, because guys are pressured to be these Adonis-built creatures, chiseled out of marble.
Not everyone says favorable
by
to you.
Zeus himself. So basically, like this. No, no. It's I had the same issue. As a guy, I really don't care. But when I was on Heroes of Cosplay, and then I saw myself, compared to Carl and his magnificent body. Yeah, I got a little self-conscious, and I lost like 45 pounds, and now I'm doing like all the sexy cosplay for guys. But it's not only that negativity is, people will always find something to pick at, because that's how people are. Some people don't have anything to do, some people are just mean, but it's human nature to criticize, and that critique is never a bad thing, it's how you do it. Most people have a negative association with criticism, but if someone comes and Ruckus critiques my costume, you know, you should really fix that, or this, that. Okay, but if you go like, that sucks, that's not critique, that's just you being a jerk. And it's really easy to be a jerk online. I'm guilty of it, I'm only human, but you have to handle certain things with maturity. And if you don't, it just makes you look like a child. But unfortunately, the internet is filled with children. So the internet is awesome, but it's really easy to hate on the internet, because I can call someone out and I'll never see them. You know, so it's not like back in the day in the play yard, I hate you, no, I hate you. So it doesn't work like that, so.
Yeah, the body image thing is definitely probably one of the biggest things. Like Gina said, I experienced something similar recently. I was thinner when my page first took off, and I've gained weight recently. And I'm still relatively thin, but people will still, you know, wow, what a fatty, chubby, etc., stuff like that. So, do you, boo-boo? Thank you. So that's a really big thing. So even if you know that you're not fat or you're not too thin or whatever, it's hard to kind of let stuff like that go, because sometimes it is really, really rampant, and it can get to you. So that's something that I struggle with, and like Miggy said, just the rampant like critique. People always have something
when you get on a
about.
costume, I do this, I don't know if you do, this is actually interesting. Do you, like, I'll look at myself in the mirror and I think, if Reddit looked at me right now,
What would they say?
what would they say?
Yeah, I've had people start threads about what I shouldn't be wearing because I've gotten so much fatter since this costume, or the first time I wore it, it looked better. So I do. There's even recently, because of the weight gain, I've started kind of making sure that I don't wear revealing stuff, or anything that shows what I'm uncomfortable with. And it's kind of sad, but it's hard to not let it affect you in some way. But you really have to kind of separate yourself from that and know that that doesn't, it's not a measure of who you really are.
Yeah, it just takes one bad comment to ruin your day.
You can have 100 people say, wow, you look fabulous, but that one person that says, this sucks, you're like,
and just the whole
wow.
day, you're just like,
Yeah.
Yeah, the internet criticism of, when your name is out there is 10 times worse. Like, my dream costume is always to do Captain America. I think that'd be the funnest costume to do, but I don't have the body for it. I don't see myself getting the body for it. So running around in a baggy jumpsuit just works for me. Pretty happy about that. I get to hide whatever I'm adding. I don't think so.
And in no way are we, saying that you have to be super fit to cosplay.
Yeah, it's your comfort level.
Yeah,
It's absolutely a comfort level.
If you're comfortable doing it, that's great. But when you're just critiqued for, and we say critiqued, we're not being critiqued, we're being bashed. When you're being bashed about everything, because it's just like, if you look at some cosplayers that are bigger build, and they just build, it's beautiful the stuff they make. And no matter how gorgeous it is, people will always just be like, yeah, it's a good costume, but that person's fat. And it shouldn't be about that, but realistically, the way this generation is, the media, the portrayal, I don't know if you guys seen that, the Photoshop girl, the model, and like the before and after. Beauty is, this generation is an unreachable goal, because you'll never have that six-pack, you'll never have, the double, how do boobs work? The big boobies and the small little A's. I don't know how cups work. I was gonna be like, you'll never have the double A's.
They're
That's
magic.
double, right? That's bad, okay.
Don't want the double A's.
Okay.
Don't want the double A's.
There's also the whole, there's always people that always tell you that, well, yours is all right, but so-and-so did it better.
Yeah.
It's also, we're all dressing up as fictional characters, which is the funniest part about this.
Yes.
My philosophy is, if I'm a fictional character, it's a fictional body type also. It's not necessarily a real achievable thing, So the fact that some girls have to pad their chests, or, guys are padding their muscles on their, those muscle suits and stuff, it's not real. They're not real anatomy. I mean, there's no way Batman can be wearing a suit and have literally all those muscles showing. No one's walking around like actually Goku. So it's like, if you have to cheat a little bit to make that happen and you get slandered over it, it's like, well, hello, it's not real to begin with,
Yeah.
But the other thing is, a lot of us are adults dressing up.
Yeah,
You also have to let that sink in. It's just like, we're arguing over who plays pretend better. So if you put it like that, then everyone's like, oh yeah, it's kind of silly to be like.
At the end of the day, we're all playing pretend.
Yes.
That's the biggest thing behind it.
Yeah, we're literally, I don't go to work like this, I don't pick up patients green,
That'd be interesting, though.
Yeah, like, oh, I'm here to
Open
pick
the
you up.
ambulance door. Hello.
Like, oh, I think you're sick.
Like, I know we're coming off as super cynical about this, but even though I'm a chubby dude, I still got into a full-body white spandex suit to do Arthur, because it's something I really wanted to do, and it didn't stop me. And I had plenty of people point out that I was looking a little round in that. White spandex is not forgiving.
Harsh mistress.
Yeah, it's very harsh mistress. But I still had the best time of my life running around doing Tick and Arthur, looking like that. So I don't really care.
It's like my favorite costume is Napoleon Dynamite.
Oh my
and that's like the most
my favorite one of
unattractive
you,
thing.
too.
And I dress like a dude. I'm like it's not like sexy Napoleon, it's Napoleon Dynamite.
When Ron Jeremy is all up on you.
Yeah, and people are just like, what are you doing? And I'm like, having a blast. Well, I mean, I'm a lady man right now too. I like dressing up as men, so yeah.
But even in this costume, Enzo Matrix is very muscular. And I looked in the mirror, and with my recent weight loss, I was like, I'm too skinny for it. But I want to do it anyway. So I was like, you know what?
That was not me. I looked at him, I was like, you look fabulous.
Yeah. Stop. I was like, my biceps should be 16 inches. They're only 13. No, I was like, you know what? Whatever. I want to do this for me, and I did it for me. Because that's what cosplay is. It's for you. If you do it to please others, you're going to have a tough time pleasing everyone, because you won't.
Body type should never stop you from doing the costumes you want to do. Just be aware that people on the internet they can say whatever they want because they don't have to say it to your face. So just be prepared for people just being jerks for the sake of being jerks.
Yeah.
That's the biggest thing.
But
Trolls.
as long as you're enjoying yourself, you do you, boo-boo.
And
Do
it all
whatever
comes
you
back
want
down to that comfort thing too, because if you're comfortable wearing nothing, or if you're comfortable being completely clothed, or if you're comfortable cross-playing, it doesn't matter what other people say. Realistically, it is for you, but it's about your comfort level. And if you want to dress up as Sailor Moon and you don't think you have the body type about it, but you're happy being Sailor Moon, that's what matters, you know? You. You matter.
I love being Sailor Moon.
Remember, it's even though it's Cosfamous with the U.S., it's really Cosfame me. You know what I mean? It's about you and how you see yourself. It's funny because as much as we're saying, you know, it literally is about you. The way Cosfame is a silly term just in general because there's really no
such thing.
There's no such thing.
Yeah.
I mean, you have like Jessica Negri, who she's a genius. It's not even like she has Negrinomics. It's the way she markets herself is amazing. The way she just makes it rain, it's money. So you have
Prince.
very, very few cosplayers who can actually hold the term Cosfamous. You know what I mean? Because what you view as fame, is it showing up to a convention and people knowing who you are, or is it walking down the street and people knowing who you are?
Yeah.
It's that type of setting. You know, in our subculture, are we known? You know, we're like, oh, that's that dude with the mohawk, and that's the chubby Ghostbuster. No, it's just that's I guess what people can't or don't know how to interpret in how we are. That's why I use it ironically. You know, oh, I'm the best. No, I'm not the best because there's other people that would be better than you.
I'm the best.
He's the best in the world.
Around, nothing's ever gonna keep you down. I don't know.
All
No,
right.
he's more of the Yu-Gi-Oh.
Yahoo.
Yu-Gi-Oh best, not Pokemon best. You know.
Yeah, Yu-Gi-Oh.
trainer.
I'm the champ, hands down.
Yeah,
games.
Cosfame is like, even if you are famous as a cosplayer, you're famous in a subculture. You know, it's not like you're like a Hollywood celebrity, so it doesn't really matter. So many people do it, you know, for how much attention they can get or how many likes their Facebook page can have. But at the end of the day, like, everybody's still doing the same thing, and it doesn't really matter at all. Like, what your skill level is, how long you've been doing it, none of it matters.
I mean, I always viewed famous as someone who can influence pop culture.
Yeah.
So, unfortunately, these are horrendous examples, but Snooki is famous. She's on South Park. She's been, you know what I mean? Like, she's been incorporated into pop culture. You know, Honey Boo Boo, unfortunately, is famous. She has infiltrated pop culture, and if you ask people overseas, who is this person, unfortunately, they know about these people. So it's like, for us, it's very much a subculture, and it's a subset within a subculture. It's not even within, you know, like, cosplay is a subset of conventioning world. So it's like, it's even smaller.
Yeah,
Like,
it's
I
much
feel like
smaller
there's a
than
lot
people
of
think it is.
Instagram or YouTube people that have a more major following than someone with costumes. So it's like, if you want to be well known with costuming, it's such a minute amount of people that you're actually influencing.
Yeah.
Like everyone knows who Michelle Phan is, right? Makeup artist,
What?
Michelle Phan.
Yes, I know who she is.
You know, so it's like that. It's like I'm on, you know, I was on a cable television network, but you walk down and I'm like, oh, Miggy Jagger, and you're like, oh, yeah. Who? So it's all relative to how you see it. You know, to me, this is genuinely a hobby because I'm always talking about my job, which is my real life. You know, this is what I do. Me and him, you know, get drunk, do stupid things. That's Cosfamous for us.
Good
Yeah,
team.
same. It's a hobby, and it's always been a hobby from the time I started, you know, 16 years ago, like when I started sewing. And the whole, like, having any kind of reach thing or people knowing me is just something that I consider kind of a neat blessing, I guess, because it's nothing that I was aiming for or trying to achieve. So it's just something that kind of happened, and I kind of roll with it and enjoy it, and am appreciative that I'm able to do what I am because of it. But it's still, at its very core, it's something that I love to do, and it's a hobby, and that's always what it's going to be.
Yeah, this never comes before paying bills or jobs or anything like that. Like, I've had a serious conversation with Gina because very soon I'll be joining FDNY and the fire department, and it's going to be stressful. And realistically, I won't be able to attend conventions or film or, guest, and I have to eventually, the Mohawk has to go. Because you can't have a Mohawk. I know, in the
You saw the
academy.
devastation in all the
know.
eyes. Not the Mohawk.
But it's just hair, it grows back. But that's the type of deal. It's like if you have to you have to stop cosplaying for something, it has to happen. Because, do I make money off of it? Yeah, sometimes, here and there. Depends. But it should never come between your...
Priorities, like
There
real
you go.
life.
That's the word.
Yeah, 10 years down the road, are we going to still be doing this? Most likely not. But your job now can affect 10 years.
Yeah,
I'll probably still be doing
I'll probably,
this.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
I'm 10 years from now, I hope that like I have something better in my life than sewing on and going to con.
I mean,
I'm sorry.
we still have the
no,
weekends,
really,
though.
because it's expensive. It's very expensive, and I have things, like school debt, and I have things like family that I want to think about, and you have other things that affect your life, and if you're constantly putting them on hold because if I have a kid, I can't go to cons. It's like that's ridiculous.
It hasn't stopped
No,
me.
that becomes an accessory.
Yeah, well, you also.
No, I know what you're saying, though.
You
Yeah.
have a different family dynamic.
It also depends on the person, because that's Gina's opinion doesn't mean that that's law, and that's what all cosplay is. If that's how she
I want to become
feels,
responsible in life.
yeah. If that's how she feels, that's how she feels. And I feel like, do I want to be 80 and have a mohawk? Yeah, it'd be the coolest Gramps ever.
Yeah.
I'd be like, I'm part of the hip kids. I skateboard. My hip broke.
I'll probably just do it till I stop having fun.
That was my point.
Yeah. I mean, when it stops becoming something that you're enjoying and it becomes more of a chore that you have to really work up the effort to put into a costume, that's when you kind of need to be like, all right.
Because what people don't see is the costume making. I don't know about you, but I get really mean and just like, this isn't done.
Yeah, you know how people get hangry, they're so hungry that they're just violent. There's something like that when a cosplay is happening with me.
I have a term for that.
What is it?
I call that the Cosplay Meltdown.
Yeah.
It is. It's true. Because anybody who does any type of art, whether it's arts and crafts or any type of creation things, and all of a sudden you see it's not working out, your brain just stops functioning and it just oozes out of your ears and you
there's
see
this
red.
frizzle that starts happening and you just you get that little eye twitch and you're like, I have to make this work. And then it's crunch mode. And nobody needs to talk to you at that point because it's probably dangerous.
Even if they're like, oh, you have a really pretty face. You're like,
Yeah, these costumes were done yesterday at 4:30 in the morning.
yeah, we finished these at 4:30 in the morning.
I got
made
home
this
from a
at
late
2 in the
tour.
morning.
Yeah, because I'm posting pictures and people are like, wow, it's 4:30, you're still posting. I'm like, it's because it's done. But it's stressful, and to the people who make it their life, it's easier because that's, cosplay is what they do. That's their job.
They can primarily focus on it.
That's their main priorities, cosplay, because that's their either source of income or that's what they do for a living. For people like us, it's not my priority, and it's really hard to make time. And if I can't make time, I can't make time. I've had to cancel a couple of guest appearances this year. I just don't have time. I'd rather just, I'm neglecting friends, family, loved ones. I don't want to, because there'll always be a con. The con's still there.
Yeah.
Unless it's a Dash Con. But
They're bringing that back. I don't know what you're talking. Yeah, they're bringing
all
it
right,
back.
then I think it's time
It's
to
just
leave.
gonna be one big ball pit.
Yeah, I think that's a thing. Everybody kind of gets lumped into the same kind of category. So I've had people get upset with me. I've gotten blasted via email for having to cancel appearances and stuff like that because I think people see people like Jessica or Yaya, something like that, and they just assume everybody is doing that. Everybody has put all their time and all their effort and everything, and they don't have normal lives, and they forget that we're people behind the whole character thing.
Wait, you're a person.
Yeah, so when you're like, oh, I'm sorry, I couldn't finish the costume. Well, I came to the con just to see it. It's like, I'm sorry. Sorry about you.
I failed you.
Honor.
Yeah, I'm unliking your page.
All right, we should get ready to wrap up. But before we wrap up officially, I want to give the audience a chance to say any questions to the panelists.
They better be good
Perfect.
questions.
Fantastic. Yes.
I'm like an Uber fan of you guys. Like, get the kid, make it so cool.
Is there a question in that?
That's.
Oh, how
how
do
do
we
you-
stay so cool?
Or not.
Ice.
Or not.
Yeah, I took a cold shower this morning just to freshen up, be conscious, 4:30 finishing costumes and all.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're really not cool per se.
No. I'm the wet blanket.
I'm cooler out of costume. I guess.
I'm
My
not.
normal life.
His coolness comes with his mohawk, only when it's at full.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When
Yeah,
this-
the higher the hair, the more personality
Yeah.
I think I exude.
Once the hair's gone, I'll be but a memory in the wind.
Actually, I agree that the hair does hold my coolness, because when I have it like all 80s puffed out, I feel cool.
Yeah, dude, my hair, like when my hair is flat and not done, I'm like total bummer. Yeah. Your hair is pretty rad, man.
Well, there you
You're
go.
doing good.
Yeah.
Now,
All right. So
Any other
there's
questions?
there was a Thor.
Thor, yeah, what's your question,
oh
Thor?
no.
What?
Buying likes for fan page.
Oh, they can get expensive, man.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
let me tell you, I only buy the premium likes. The ones farmed in Guadalajara is the ones that I like. Guadalajara likes. Those are fresh.
No, but that actually is really controversial with buying likes, and it's all about being comfortable with yourself, I think, again.
Yeah.
And it's like, if I feel more comfortable, I'm comfortable with how many people like my page because they genuinely liked it. But someone else might feel that insecurity that I don't have a big enough number, so people won't respect me or something like that. I don't know,
Yeah,
like there's
that's
anxiety,
true.
so that, people do that.
It's a pissing contest.
It's
It
almost
is.
like a ranking system. Like people think, oh, so-and-so has
No, it's
10,000 more likes than you.
For a lot of people, it's also can be a business move. People
Yeah.
want conventions to hire them to come to the show and give them a free ride. And if you only have 2,000 likes, who's going to pay attention to you? But if you buy yourself 20,000 likes, that's going to persuade the convention a little bit more.
Is that how you got here?
I have 2,000
that's-
likes. No one likes me. I shouldn't be at this panel.
It's because I posted it.
That's right.
No, I'm just kidding.
Thank you.
Yeah.
All right,
No,
we have-
yeah, I think it's just what you're comfortable with. Like, that actually kind of weirds me out personally. I would feel really weird, like, buying people to like my page, I guess. I want them to like it genuinely, not because they saw an ad on the side of the page, I guess. So that's something weird to me.
Now, Facebook has an option where you can pay to promote. And now that is, I think, genius. If you sell something or marketing something, I make shirts. I want people to buy my shirts. I want people to see my shirts. It's called advertisement. You know what I mean? You can't be upset if you want to advertise yourself because you're advertising. That's what you do. You buy an ad.
Yeah, because
This-
Facebook will like limit reach for links, for
Yeah.
example. So if you have a store and you're trying to like promote print sales or something like that, you can pay to boost a specific post. So that I think can be beneficial, but
So
past that,
yeah.
eh.
All right. One more question before we wrap up.
Yeah, we'll have over here, yes.
Oh, okay.
Oh, you want to start?
That's a good
'Cause
question.
I gotta think now.
That's a good one. I kind of have the same answer every time. I'm really boring. It's usually like the most recent one that I've made because it's new and I'm excited to wear it. And the people that follow what I do are excited that I've come up with something new. I have some all-time favorites. Like I love being Harley Quinn from Injustice. I like running around ghost busting these guys. Stuff like that. Yeah, comfortable stuff is fun. Like this. Yeah.
It is not my Louis Vuitton. It's my Hello Kitty pack. That is the funnest thing I've ever done. Actually, I just did JD at Dragon Con from Scrubs. And I brought like all my costumes to Dragon Con. And I was like, oh, JD from Scrubs will be a good drinking costume. And that was the only costume people cared about. So that's the other weird thing about the whole fame thing is sometimes you don't have to spend $30,000 making a costume and it's really elaborate and super accurate because sometimes people don't care about that. Sometimes people just want to see something original and something creative. I threw on some store-bought scrubs, made a tag like JD, and ran around with a 3-foot poster of Turk. And I was a rock star that weekend.
Yeah,
So,
that's true.
but yeah, I'm going with the Hello Kitty pack. That thing is super fun.
I have two. Definitely Sokka from Avatar. It's just because you can just be as obnoxious, and I am, as you can. They're like, oh my God,
It
that's
fits you too. Like
Yeah.
you really like.
You
rock
are the meat and
character.
sarcasm
Yeah.
guy.
I mean, I have the shade sides, I have the mohawk ponytail sometimes, and it's just, I do this, and everyone goes crazy. But the costume that I'm most, man, I gotta retire it soon. I just wear it too much. Is Shazam that I had on the show. That it wouldn't have happened without her. Yeah, she was the mastermind behind that. She did a great job.
Oh, stop it.
But it's such a just powerful costume, and it's just I love it. But yeah,
I think my favorite is Major Kusanagi from Ghost in the Shell, as well as my Hawk Girl. The two of them, when I'm in them, I feel so powerful. Like when I walk around, I walk different because I feel so cool.
So I'm like, you.
And I get really excited and I feel badass. Like I walk around and people respect me and I'm like, yeah, like
That's
this
how I
is
feel in Harley.
this is me. So it like that power boost that it gives me in my confidence is I think the reason why I love those costumes to wear them.
Okay, excellent. Well, thank you everyone for coming to our panel. And feel free to talk to us afterwards, and have a great day.
please hold your applause. Thank you.
Yeah. We also have candy at our booth if anybody wants to come visit us later.
Yeah, we're gonna be C4.
I'm like right next to you.
Yeah,
We're
we're
like
all next to
C4.
each other.
Yeah, we're all at the same thing.
They put us all together.
We have
we will
candy,
have
so we're
candy.
better.